I feel like it's the same situation. I don't know where we're at. And I feel like she's just like throwing stuff continually to confuse everybody. Hi, everyone. Welcome to a new episode of Don't Let It Stu. I have my fave in the house. I just want to congratulate him because he just passed the bar and now he's joining Brian Friedman in the Blake Lively and Baldoni case. How are you?
I'm good. How are you?
I mean, I'm not wrong. You pretty much could be working with him.
Well, I mean, here's the thing. In California, you don't technically have to go to law school.
Is that what Kim K got it?
Yeah, well, that's what she was doing. I think you just have to do, I think it's like 5 years that you have to like work under the, I don't know, there's some caveat that you can utilize here in California that allows you to take the bar exam without having to actually go to law school. So
you could have interned at Giardi Keys unless if everything didn't go the way it went, but you know, it is what it is. I'm going to ask you about the Baldoni thing, and I like literally want to spend 5 minutes on it. I'm so fucking exhausted by it, but we'll talk about Housewives first and all that stuff. Okay. An update on the dog park scandal. So there was a guy in the dog park. Did I talk to you about it the last time? Maybe the first time I talked about it?
You mentioned something at a dog park, yeah.
There was a girl, she's been kind of stalked by this guy, a gay guy. Yes, I did talk to you about it. And so I saw her this morning and I'm like, hey, did you go to court on Tuesday? And she's like, yes, we did. And I'm like, oh, is it all taken care of? Like the restraining order, all that stuff, right? Because he was there this morning at the dog park. And then she was there too. And I'm like, and apparently, you know, he has these little groupies in the corner and they all sent like letters of recommendation, you know, to the judge and all this shit, right? He fucking responded to her, like when she served him, an 80-page like response. And I was like, and he did it the last minute. So obviously the judge gave them like 15 minutes to review it. She's like, I have no time for like, you know, like we're going to have to come back. So now she has to go back in May. He totally is slamming her with all this fucking paperwork to try and be like, fuck off. Like, you know, like he's hoping that she's just going to like let it go. And she's just like, we're going back in May. She's like, Stuart, the stuff that he wrote in it has nothing got to do with what we're talking about. It's just nonsense. And I'm like, well, the judge will see he's a crazy person and just, you'll be fine. I hope. So that's what's happening with that whole fucking story. Isn't that crazy?
Crazy.
Anything like fun you want to get off your chest? Anything pissing you off this week?
There's always something pissing me off.
I know. Like you always have good ones. That's why I'm asking you.
I don't know. There have been a lot of haters in my comments lately. So
really?
Yeah.
Over what?
So Fox News had reached out to me and asked me to like do an interview about Blake and Baldoni, and they had asked me about Snow White because obviously like that's a disaster with Rachel Zegler and Gal Gadot and whatever and things that I've covered like pop culture stuff. And so people got like really mad that I chose to give an interview to Fox News, and I was like, you know what?
Who cares?
Lick my butthole. Like shut up. Like you, like anybody else would not like. I would get.
Yes. I know what you're about to say. Everybody would fucking do that. If a news outlet is coming like, hey, we'd love to hear your take or your scoop. I even did a show way back when for Fox Business in New York. It was called Crazy Inheritance or something like that. It was called whatever. It was people that inherited money, like crazy things.
Yeah.
And I was one of the commentary people on it. Like they had a chef, they had somebody else, like the three of us sitting on a couch. What did you think about it? And we all kind of gave our kind of 2 cents on it. Whatever. It was on Fox Business. I was in the building where they have Fox News and all that kind of stuff. And I'm like, this is kind of cool. I'll probably never be here again, but whatever. It happens.
Yeah. It happens. I don't care. I was very excited and like they were mad that in the caption I said, thank you, Fox News. I'm like, thank you, Fox News. I was like, yes, thank you, Fox News. I can be a gracious person that says thank you.
Yes.
Please and thank you. Like Sutton Strack, Miss Manners.
Yeah. Oh, God. Okay, that's going. Well, look, you know what? You didn't do anything wrong. And we all would have done it. Press is press. To get out there, it promotes your podcast, it promotes you. It's all great. So fuck off, everyone. Whatever.
Yep.
Let's get in. Did you watch the finale of White Lotus.
Yes. I caught up.
What did
I watched the finale.
What did you think?
Underwhelming.
Yeah.
I felt like a lot of it was a little predictable. So yeah, it was underwhelming, predictable, just not that interesting. Like I think we all knew, spoilers, sorry, but I think we all knew Chelsea was going to die. Like that was obvious.
How did you? I didn't think so.
Who did you think was going to die?
No, I'm not even.
What were your predictions going into the finale? I guess is a
I
better
don't know.
question.
Maybe I thought like the guy would kill himself. That's in trouble with the FBI. Like I didn't
Too
think
obvious.
It is too obvious. I didn't think the son was going to drink that cocktail or that drink out of the thing, and he nearly died. The son.
Which was dumb. Like that was the only interesting part is when Lachlan ends up drinking the poisonous seeds because gross that he doesn't wash the blender. Which I don't know anybody who doesn't wash the blender.
Who doesn't wash the blender?
When there's like milk in it. That's what's gross. Is it's like there was like milk and the dad had already said that it was expired.
From the night before. I mean, even if it was like a fucking margarita, you still rinse it out. Like you're just not gonna. And then
do a little rinse and toss. Yeah.
Yeah.
Well, people were saying that he didn't rinse it because of the he didn't rinse it because he thought that or assumed that Saks ended up making a protein shake, and so he just thought it was like leftover protein shake from Saks. But still, like it's still gross. I mean, there's still dairy in it that you want to at least rinse it out to like, you know.
There's another way they could have done that for him to whatever. You know what I mean? There just was. What else was I going to say about it? Oh my God, I had it at the top. Okay, so my friend Andrew Scott, right? He DM'd me and he's like, hey, what did you think of the finale? I was like, I thought it was garbage. I thought it was just like fucking underwhelming. They jacked us off for fucking 7 episodes and then just to give us this like shitty finale. Like, I'm so tired of watching this show where there's just kind of nothing happening for 7 episodes and then it's like, bam, let's wrap it up in 15 minutes. Season 1 was amazing. Like, I think there was always like stuff happening in season 1 as it went throughout. Season 2 kind of was a bit lighter. 3, I'm just like, when is something going to happen? You know, so that's kind of how I felt about it. But he said it was basically Hamlet. It was very Shakespearean.
I mean, yes, there were a lot of themes and undertones, and like if you really like think like. Yes, and there was like the rule of threes, and then there was like the see no evil, speak no evil, hear no evil, you know, like all these different themes and euphemisms, and you know, I get it, and I was trying to follow up, and a lot of people were following it on TikTok because there were a lot of TikTok theories, and then ultimately, even for the people that were following the theories online, though, I feel like even then they were still disappointed because you were trying to follow all of the different, you know, what you thought was going to happen or what was supposed to be meaningful or not meaningful. Like people thought the monkeys were going to do it because the monkeys had some sort of significance, and then it wasn't the monkeys. So even the people that were in depth trying to follow the theories, even they, I feel like, were underwhelmed because they were like, well, none of the theories ended up panning out.
Yeah, it's like Taylor Swift.
And I want to know how Lachlan. I want to know how Lachlan died but didn't die. Like, how did he come back to life? We got no follow-up context to that. Like, I want to know how he came. That was the only part of the finale that I found interesting and shocking was when he died. And I was like, oh my God. And then he came back to life and I was like, well, that was a bust.
And then like, okay. And this was the other thing as well that drove me fucking crazy. Like he confronts the son, confronts the dad. We didn't know he was the dad at the time. And he's like, or the woman, the wife says, he was your father. Like, what the fuck did you do? Why did he not say that when he confronted him with a fucking gun to his head? In Bangkok. That annoyed me too.
That was, that was dumb. The whole Luke, I am your father moment didn't really land for me. And I don't know. The whole thing was, this whole season was a bit of a bust. And I saw the creator, Mike White, came out and he was like, well, the intention of it, which like you said, they were just jerking us off. He said the intention of it was to edge us all the way to the end. It was to edge. Well, but it was the worst. It was like you edge us to the very end. And then the climax is shit.
Yeah. just in future, I just feel like you need to give us something in like episode 2, episode 4, episode 6, and then episode 8.
Something
You
to
finish
keep
it
us
off.
locked. It's fine to have some episodes that are a bit of a lull, but like something like give us a little bit to keep us going.
Yeah, exactly. That's all I want. That's all I want. Other than that, I think it's shot beautifully. I think the locations are amazing. I think the characters are fantastic. Like all that. That's it. In other news, I may be, well, I booked it. I may be going to the White Lotus Hotel
in Thailand,
in Italy. So season 2's White Lotus at the end of the month. I booked my flight.
Exciting.
My friend is staying there. He's like, do you want to come? I'm like, I can't afford it. He's like, just stay with me. I'm like, I'm fucking there. So 3 or 4 nights we're staying there. I'm literally flying to Italy just to go there for 3 or 4 nights. I don't care. It's going to be a long weekend in Italy. Fun.
That's exciting.
Here's the way I see it. It's like the Taylor Swift in London thing. It's a once off. It'll never happen again. Yeah. I'll never go to that hotel. I'm not going to go to Sicily. Yeah. I'm not. I'll go to Italy and see Florence and Rome and all that stuff another time in my life, but I won't go to that hotel. I know I won't.
Yeah.
So I'll keep you posted if I go. Firefest 2 updates. I keep sending you things about it. So I saw in Good Morning America that they actually went onto the website. They bought a ticket for $1,400. No email confirmation, nothing. After they bought it. So they're just like taking money. So you're submitting money to nothing.
Like Meghan Markle.
So then also my brain is just not fucking working today. So then because we're all like saying like it's not happening. So he's obviously getting pissed off about it. They're saying the Mexican government never gave him the permits. He's saying they did give him the permits, but actually the permits only show that's a 12-hour listening party for about 250 people. That's all that's been approved. So now he posted like receipts, but it's one of those things like thou protest too much. Like if you have to keep defending this with receipts, it's like, dude, show us the list of the artists. Like release shit about it. You haven't really released anything. So no, and it's like, it's just, anyway, that's kind of where we are in that so far. I'll keep going and I'll keep poking around. Beverly Hills.
Oof.
I liked this week's episode, this reunion.
It was good.
It was good. Do you think omissions are lies?
It depends on the context, right? Like if somebody asks you a question and you intentionally omit information because you want to conceal something and you're hiding something, that is a lie. But just not disclosing every detail about everything is not necessarily a lie. It depends on the context.
And this is the thing with that, because I've been called that before. And I was like, my defense was, I didn't put in some of the details because I knew it would upset you. So I didn't want to upset you, so I left some bits and pieces out. But I'm not doing anything wrong. Like I'm not guilty of like something that's bad or anything like that. I literally like, it's not my intention to go around and start pissing people off and making them angry. It's not.
Yeah.
And I know if you know somebody, like, yes, I will omit something from a story like, hey, this person said this about you. I'm not fucking going to say that back to you. Because I know it's going to hurt you, and then you're going to run, so whatever. So I didn't like that Bo said that about Kyle. I just feel like it's situational and context and like all those kind of things.
I agree.
So Zach and I really agree on this, this Sutton and Garcelle thing. We are like so happy that finally they're being called out. Because come on, like people are just gaslit by this, or they're like delusional. Yeah. Thinking that like, they're so mean to them. I can't believe it. It's like, guys, they've been sailing by all these seasons talking shit about everybody. And little snide remarks. Go ahead.
in the confessional, they're ruthless in their confessionals. They have all these mean things that they want to say about the other women. And it's like, now's your chance. This is the reunion. Everybody's seen everything. So now's your chance. And that's why when Dorit was like, where's that girl? Where's the girl that was talking all that stuff that had a big bank account and blah, blah. She's like, where's she at, Sutton? Does she not show up today? And Sutton's just kind of sitting there like, you know, and it's like, yeah, they do deserve to get their asses handed to them because they've been on the giver's end of it for the last several seasons. And now the tables have finally turned.
I know it's God. And then this is also, I sent like a video to Zach last night. I was watching it and I saw like Garcelle, and Garcelle's not giving anything. And it's like, all you're getting is like this, okay. All right.
Yeah. Like when Kyle tries to clap back at her and Kyle tries to like make a good point, she's just like, okay. And it's like, okay, what? Like, okay, I'm sorry, I shouldn't have done that. Or, okay, no, I don't agree with you. Like, something. Give us something.
I know. It's literally, the reunion is for everybody to speak up, everybody to talk, like, and it's their moment. And I just feel like when you're silent, you're kind of guilty. You're kind of like, fuck, I'm being caught out. I don't know. I saw a clip of the Page Six podcast or show on Sirius, and Dorinda was on it today. And Dorinda did this whole thing where she was like, just start crying. Just be like, I fucked up. I messed up. Oh my God. I was reconnecting with my mom in Savannah, like whatever, and kind of sail by. But Sutton has been very, very quiet on this reunion. And really,
that's when we have Jennifer Tilly asking if she's like, is she on anxiety meds? And then Garcelle's like, we're mic'd right now.
I know, I love the shade.
Did you see that part?
Yeah. I love the shade of it. Like, Jennifer Tilly completely knows that they're mic'd.
She knows exactly what she's doing. Yeah, she's not dumb.
She's cutesy in the corner with her little snacks, munch. Wait there. Also, I want to ask this to you. Do you think that the girls kind of got together before the reunion, like, okay, we need to fucking go after these two bitches? Like, we need to kind of like, no. There was no kind of like...
I just don't think they do that. Like, I know people think that they're more orchestrated and planned. They're not. Like, they're not. No, I don't think that there was any pre-meeting or any premeditated attack on Garcelle. I think it was obvious that Garcelle and Sutton should have been grilled. If anybody watched that season, it was obvious that Sutton and Garcelle were going to have they were going to have to answer some questions about their behavior this season,
It's because, and it's when Kyle said as well to them, like, when you two get together, you're mean girls. And it is, and it's almost like when you think about it, like a Big Brother or like a Traders thing, like when two people are together, like everybody's looking at them like, what are they talking about? They're teaming up. They're doing this. They're doing that. Like, so you're kind of putting like a target on your back. Like you have to mix with the group. You need to be friends with everybody. You can't just like, you did it for long enough. Now you're called out and people are fed up of it. With the PK and text and stuff like that with Kyle, I remember Bose was saying like, well, you said there were secrets and like, and Kyle was like, I wasn't being like intentional. I think all Kyle was saying was, listen, I get where the situation is now with you and Dorit. I'm just letting you know whatever we talk about doesn't go further, like secrets or anything like that. I think she was just a blanket statement saying like, hey, you can trust me. Like, I'm not going to blab this on TV or to Dorit or anything like that.
And she said it. She's like, because like production, she's like, I was talking about the show. I wasn't going to bring up any of your personal marital details on camera is basically the point that she was trying to make.
Yeah. But it was very like Bose was trying to say like, well, you lied. She's like, no, I just, whatever.
I think they're really focusing on the word secrets, which does sound bad. The fact that she used the word secrets in the text message, which made it seem like there were some secrets that were shared, which then is like, well, what is this veil of trust that you and PK have, and why are you guys keeping secrets?
And then they talked about girl code and stuff like that, and then Kyle did apologize at the end. She was like, look, I am sorry I hurt you and stuff, and I can kind of see your point and stuff, but I just feel like they all got really close. They're all close friends. And I feel like like Kyle is not like, I feel like she's not like desperate to be friends with like Dorit. I just feel like she's
Doesn't need
not.
to.
She doesn't need to be. And I feel like that's why she probably has a lot of fun with PK. PK probably vents to her about fucking Dorit. And I know why I'm whispering. And like, that's what it felt like. It felt like Kyle just didn't give a fuck. And she was just like, yeah, we'll be friends. We'll try and work on it, you know, just to wrap it up on the TV. But I don't think she's texting her after the show. I don't think they're going to have lunch after the show and stuff like that. They're not.
Unless they plan on like both coming back next season, then they'll have to like try to rebuild that relationship. But I agree. I mean, think about it. Like, why did Kyle and Dorit drift apart initially? I think Kyle ended up finding Morgan, was able to bond with Morgan. Kyle now has a sober group of friends that aren't about going out, that like to go on hikes, that like to work out. Like, her entire life has changed. So her friend group and the people around her has changed as well. And she just doesn't relate to Dorit. I mean, especially you even look at them as moms. Like, Kyle's kids are grown and out of the house. Dorit's kids are still little. So it would make sense that Dorit's friends are going to be other people that have younger kids that can play together and have play dates and stuff, you know?
No, I think that's a really good point that you made about the drinking thing. Like, and that is one thing that your life does change when you stop drinking. You kind of can lose some friends. You're not close to them anymore and so forth. By the way, you'll be happy. Like I didn't start back drinking again, but I drank in Ireland and I had a few drinks and I had a date the other night. I had a cocktail the other night. So we're back. We're not. I'm not getting messy, but we're back.
Good.
Yeah. Joe Boz says, she's like, I would have blocked him. It's like, relax. Like, they were friends for years. Like who blocks people? Like PK's not going around. PK's not going around like talking shit about Kyle. Like, you know what I mean?
That's dramatic.
It's dramatic. Bo says Kyle's a liar. Michelle will like Kyle Barger's done. Jennifer Tilly, I mean, that was like a long piece that just kept going on and on, and she just was like talking and talking and talking. I'm like, when are we going to be done with this? And she just kept like I was just like, oh God. I said, what are we getting out of this?
Yeah, we're not really getting anything. We didn't. I mean, she's funny, but she's not like I didn't think we needed that much camera time.
I liked that Erica said like, what is it? Her mom called her, or dad called her Nene. Oh
yeah,
Erica Nene.
Well, no, her cute. Her mom's name is Renee, and so the dad would call her mom Nene, and so then she became Erica Nay.
Erica Nay is kind of cute. She's like, don't ever call me that. Erica was great. Erica's expressions were fantastic in the reunion. Yeah. And she opens her mouth. She's like, and she looks incredible as well. The sisterhood didn't really age well for Sutton.
No. I mean, I think anybody could see that wasn't going to age well at all. Like, it was so, especially Sutton being the one to pull it together.
The ribbon.
I mean, come on. Sutton being the one to be like, I'm going to lead the sisterhood pack. Like, she's the one that's constantly breaking the pack, you know, per her history, that like that was never going to last.
So then we kind of come to the end of the reunion. Sutton really can't take accountability with the Dorit stuff. Miss Manners all of a sudden. Sorry. And so they go back and forth, and then she keeps like egging her on, like, where is she? Where's that beady-eyed girl? You're just like, she's where is it? Like, you know, you're not fucking, was it Sheba? Princess Sheba?
Queen of Sheba, yeah.
Queen of Sheba. You live on a fucking main road. Now, I watched it on Peacock last night.
So good, uncensored.
It's so, but the way Dorit like throws the F-bombs. Now, I throw a lot of F-bombs, and I do, but like, they really are coming out like she's so angry. Like, she's fucking pissed.
You don't get in the censored version. The bleeps, you don't get the full, because the way you deliver an F-bomb, like, you know, there are layers to it. There are levels of it that, you know, you can really hit it hard, or you can subtly just kind of throw it away, and you feel it so much more, you know? Like, especially when they showed the flashback of Dorit and Camille, and Camille's like, you called me a fucking cunt. And she's like, I called you a stupid cunt. And just like, the way she delivers it is just...
I mean, she definitely solidified next season for sure. I mean, you live on a fucking main road. I'm like, there you go again. I'm like, God damn. And then Andy's like, a main road in Bel Air? I'm like, listen, I would choose the main road in Bel Air any day over a house in Encino.
Yes,
Put
I
it that
agree.
way. I think everybody would agree with that. Yeah. I saw a comment online when, and the way Bravo like edits it towards the end as the credits are rolling, she's like, where is she? Come on. Like, is she coming out? Like, where she's egging her on. And it's almost like demonic. Like somebody said, like, they were like, I'm fucking loving this. So next week, I think is going to be incredible. I can't wait. And then we kind of see that, Garcelle just leaves. No, Garcelle, come back. I'm done.
Done.
Bravo's like, yes.
Bye. Thank
They're
you.
like, bye. And that's all I have for today. Anything else? Oh yeah, Baldoni stuff. Just here's what I'm thinking. And I wanted to say this to you. There's so much. Do you remember when like Donald Trump got into office and he kept signing all those whatever
Executive
things
orders.
and there were executive orders. And then they were saying that like, oh my God, what he's doing is he's signing all these executive orders because there's just so much information that the Democrats can't even focus on one thing. So they were like, stop focusing on 60 things. Just pick 3 or 4, focus on those and let go of the other noise. That's what I feel like is going on with this fucking case. It's like, I look at your reels all the time. They always come up my feed and I'm like, okay, update. I'm like, okay. And then then you're like back again, like tomorrow, there's another update. And I'm like, I'm so fucking confused. And you're giving all great information. I'm not saying that, but it's like, it's a full-time job and you do make it a full-time job. But I feel like it's the same situation. I don't know where we're at. And I feel like she's just like throwing stuff continually to confuse everybody.
Yeah, that's kind of what's happening. And even that's why I've dialed back my coverage of it. So you can only imagine how much of there is. But so what's really just happening is there's a lot of really long, boring, not that interesting legal filings. That's kind of the place that we're in. Her, Ryan Reynolds, New York Times, and their publicist, Leslie Sloan, they're all trying to work to get the case thrown out. And so they're just burying everybody in these tedious, filings and responses to the filings. And it's kind of in the phase of going back and forth, which is all just delaying the discovery process. And the discovery process is where it's going to get juicy. That's where people get deposed. That's where the text messages get pulled up. That's where the emails start getting dug through. That's the interesting part. So what they're doing, and I've said this from the beginning, this was a delay tactic. And, all we're seeing is that they're trying to delay the process from moving into discovery. And then we saw that now apparently she apologized to Taylor Swift. So I'm like, is that an indicator
real?
that I don't know if it's real. It sounds like obviously her team planted that. I mean, listen, she could have sent Taylor a text that said, hey, sorry, you're dragged into this. And then that became the headline. I don't know. But I think if she's trying to make amends with Taylor, then I'm thinking maybe she's planning on settling because she knows that Taylor's going to be dragged into this. And so she doesn't want Taylor dragged into this. And so I think once the judge actually makes a decision on their motions to dismiss, which I predict he will not allow them to be dismissed from this lawsuit. Really? The lawsuit is going to move forward because their arguments are more arguments that should be played for a jury rather than the judge.
Got it. Okay.
So I think the judge will allow the lawsuits to move forward. And when that happens, that's when Brian Friedman will get to depose people. And I think that's the part that they're going to want to try to avoid. And so that's where they may end up possibly settling. I don't know. I want this to go to trial. I want Justin to be exonerated. I want him to come out,
Now, let me ask you this. If they wanted this to be dismissed and just all go away, like just say Blake's team goes to Brian Friedman, right? And was like, what do we need to do to stop all this nonsense or to stop all this? What do you think like Brian Friedman would like say to them? Go fuck yourself. We're going to court.
No, I think they would. Any smart attorney knows it's better to settle than it is to go to trial, because at the end of the day, you never know what's going to happen at trial. Look at O.J. Simpson. He went to trial and he got off. You never know how it's going to play out and what a jury will ultimately decide. Now, when it comes to whether or not Blake can settle, I think the only way Baldoni's team, I think, will accept the settlement is if there's an acknowledgement that Blake was misrepresenting the truth. You know, like that. First, they would need to pay out a large amount of money. I don't think they're going to get their full $400 million. I don't even think if they win at trial, they'll get $400 million. Maybe $100 million, maybe 200. You know, and which is typical, right? When you're suing somebody, you take the highest possible number, like in any negotiation. You go super high, knowing that you're going to fall somewhere in the middle, right? And so I think they would have to pay out at least $100 million. And issue an apology and some sort of acknowledgement that, like, yeah, I lied, you know, even if they want to frame it as, and I've said that the best way for her to do it is to be like, listen, I had just had a baby. My hormones were all over the place. I was going through postpartum depression, postpartum anxiety, postpartum OCD, whatever. You were having some sort of postpartum situation. You know, it's understandable that you weren't feeling confident in your body. And that's why you were maybe taking things a little more personally because you just had a baby and it was your fourth baby. And, you know, I think that there are ways that she can sugarcoat the language to make herself and her ego feel better. But
about herself,
I just don't think that I mean, again, you never know what's going to happen at trial. He has, in my opinion, a very strong case. We also just had one of the actors that worked with her from It Ends With Us that came out and said, like, she's lying. Like, that's not what happened. So it's just...
Stop it. Yeah. My God. Zack, thank you so much for coming on today. We kept it brief today. We kept it nice. We kept it tight. We kept it sharp. Let everybody know where they can follow you on Instagram, TikTok, and everywhere else in your podcast.
Yeah, Zack Peter all over the internet. Listen to No Filter with Zack Peter Monday through Fridays, streaming on YouTube first thing in the morning and available on all podcast platforms.
9 a.m., right?
When does this come out?
No,
Thursday or Friday?
Your show during the week is 9 a.m.
Yes, but when does your episode come out?
This is going to come out today. The audio is today.
Oh, okay, perfect.
Video tomorrow.
Well, perfect. Because I was going to tell people I have if they're following the Blake and Baldoni stuff, I have Justice for Justin shirts and all of my merch until the end of Friday of this week. I'll send you one. I was going to send you one. I don't know, but you were in Ireland, and I was like, oh, he's probably like, I don't know,
medium.
But okay. But so the Justice for Justin shirts, you can get them, and 50% of all proceeds from my merch store, I'm donating to the No More organization, which is to help bring awareness and help survivors and victims of domestic violence. So it was the organization Justin Baldoni wanted to partner with for It Ends With Us.
Oh, okay.
So I figured while we're all talking about this, I'm going to put my money where my mouth is. And so 50% of all sales, so whatever you buy in the merch store, 50% of all proceeds until April 11th, I'm going to be donating to the No More organization.
Awesome. There you go, everyone. We'll see you all back here next week. Bye.